Welcome back. It finished Liverpool 2, Lille 1. Analysis and interviews still to come, but that's not the end of the entertainment, particularly for Liverpool fans, doubters to believers. Liverpool FC Klopp Era is the definitive documentary on Jurgen Klopp's time at the club. It includes unprecedented behind-the-scenes access to his final 6 months in charge and is coming to Prime next month. Tonight, though, there were 8 other Champions League matches. And the headlines of those, well, Monaco managed a win over Aston Villa, so they've got it all to do next week. Atalanta, a big win for them over Sturm Graz, who are out of the Champions League now. But the result that really jumps out, and the scoreline has been back and forth all evening. Benfica 4, Barcelona 5, a 96th minute winner for Barcelona, thanks to Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia was the 4th goal. I can't even tell you who the 5th goal was. They were like Rafinha. I was going to say that definitely wasn't Figo. Rafinha scored the 5th goal, and some great results there to go pick your way through there. And let's have a little look at the table. So you can see Aston Villa just hanging on to that top 8 spot. Of course, they play Celtic next week, and that result from Barcelona, with Rafinha with the winner there, means that Liverpool will have to get a point next week if they want to finish top of this league phase. But tonight what they've done is secure themselves a passage to the last 16. And Mo Salah became the first Liverpool player to reach 50 European goals. He spoke to Gabriel Clark a few moments ago, but here's how he reached his landmark.
This time it moving cautiously, came out the rock to notice me. Game in the bag like groceries to oversee when socially. It's time for the hook to set the seas, to set the fleet. It's meant for me, the way I go from A to B. It cannot be for that defeat. It's time for the clock, it's time for the thunder. It's time for the move, this time we prove, it's time for the hunger. Don't move out of place, race and feel that hunger. And you want that goal, so go and move and play that hunger. Let's go, it's time for the clock, it's time for the thunder. It's time for the move, this time we prove, it's time for wonder. Don't move out of place, race and feel that hunger. And you want that goal, so go and move and play that hunger.
Now possibilities. Mohamed Salah! Mo Salah's 50th European goal for Liverpool.
Well done. Another win. And tonight, history for you. First Liverpool player to 50 goals in Europe.
Hopefully not the last one, but something I'm very happy and proud about it, and also especially because we won the game, so that's the most important thing.
Were you aware of that particular record, the 50?
I'm not sure.
You've broken so many.
No, I wasn't focused about it before the game, to be fair.
What did you need to do in that first half in particular? Because Lille made it difficult, didn't they, with their defensive press for the first sort of half an hour or so?
It's also attacking, to be fair. They have a really good game plan. I think they were unbeaten for 21 games, so it's a quite tough team. And they showed that also for first half and second half, so I will give them credit, but I'm glad that we managed to win the game.
For your goal, you went direct, didn't you? It seemed as though that was the best way to beat that press.
Yeah. We get the ball. I think we recovered the ball from them, and Curtis have buzzed the ball very well finally, and I managed to score.
Did you switch off a little bit when Lille went to 10 men?
Yeah, I think so. Not switched off, but I think they went for counter-attack there, and they managed to score. It's a little bit disappointed about it, because also the clean sheet is very important for us and for our defensive line. So, yeah, I think the manager will speak about it. So, yeah, let's see.
And Harvey Elliott with the winner, his first goal in the Champions League in 3 years. A big moment for him.
Yeah, especially because he was injured in the beginning of the season and came back. It's quite tough also with the guys in the midfield, but I'm happy for him. I'm always there to help him, and he's a great lad, and always try to give his best. And he come like sometime 5 minutes, sometime today he had 45 minutes. He was great, so I'm happy for him.
You need that strength in depth, don't you? That competition for places, it's a real strength.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you want to win a big tournament, you have to have a big squad. So we have a good one at the moment. So hopefully we carry on like that.
The first winners of the Champions League phase, you don't get a trophy for that. But how does this squad compare to the team that won the Champions League that you played in 6 years ago now?
It's a different manager and different players. Yeah, we have like 3, 4, 5, 6 left from that squad. But I think we have a good talent. Players working very hard. The manager also have a good idea. So we just give it a try and we see.
Yeah, 50 goals in the Champions League for Liverpool. Can you hang around long enough for another 50?
I'm not sure about that, but I will give it my best.
Player of the match again.
Thank you.
Bit of history, Mo. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we waxed lyrical about him, didn't we, pre-match?
Yeah, I mean, he's a brilliant player, isn't he? And it was a night for a couple of firsts. One of the first Liverpool player for 50 goals and the first Liverpool player to become Mo Farah as well. I mean, he must have put 10,000 metres in easy there, mustn't he?
Listen, this Champions League new format is a marathon, not a sprint, all right? We're not normally here in January, okay? When sporting worlds collide. Apologies. Sorry that Mo Farah's trending on X. Mo Salah, however, should be trending because he's a phenomena. And he's laid down these markers. He keeps breaking these records, and this club has got to keep him here.
Absolutely, and I think every time he does an interview after the match, it's a different record, and that tells you everything you need to know about Mo Salah. I nearly said it then, but he just breaks records for fun. I mean, he's a game winner. He wins like big games for Liverpool. I mean, tonight was obviously we know Liverpool are going to qualify, but
it wasn't a vintage performance, was it? It was job done for them tonight.
But professional, you know. Sometimes when you play against teams who are in a lower block and making it difficult for you to break them down, you can become methodical and you can fall into that trap. But in the end, the professionalism the guys had, Mo's clinical moment that he had, and of course I'm really happy for Harvey, as Mo said as well, because he's a young player with a lot of talent. But it was a professional performance from the team. Of course they conceded, but they had that belief in the camp to break that 10 men down, and they got the victory that they deserved.
And that goal for Lille came just a few minutes after they'd gone down to 10 men. Was it a little bit sloppy for a few minutes there? Will that be something that Arne Slot is a little bit aggrieved with when he looks back at this game?
Yeah, but it's normal in these kind of games where you are ahead, you are controlling, you are dominating. Sometimes you kind of disconnect, and Mo just mentioned, no disconnection, but yeah, you disconnect a little bit. They needed that goal to try to get something from today's game. And if you see the ball is on the wide area and there is no press, there is no intensity over there, you kind of relax. No, everybody is watching to the ball, nobody checking back or giving a little look to what is behind it. And it can happen, but the reaction, once again, is what Liverpool is all about. They get the ball again, they dominate the game, they create the chance that they could have scored a couple more.
Yeah, and that's exactly how the goal came out, wasn't it? Because obviously at the time, Lille had been pressing and then they got hold of the ball, and it was all very quick then for Mo Salah to take that opportunity.
Very quick, and we're talking, you know, literally seconds, probably 3 or 4 seconds really, with the pace that he has. And just the finish, how clinical he is in front of goal, the calmness of him to be able to time his run, of course, stay to the top corner was magnificent.
Sturridge-esque there, wasn't it?
Exactly. I think he's very comfortable in front of goal. When you look at the other forward, and we spoke about him before the game, I'm sure he'd be able to finish it like that. He hasn't got the guile to do that, whereas Mo does it. I mean, he had the chance with the header, didn't he? And then obviously that chance. So he's one of them players that if he misses a chance, he's not phased, because then you know the next one he will score.
And he said there, his first answer to Gabriel, hopefully not the last one. And he keeps dropping these little lines in, doesn't he, into his interviews, basically saying he doesn't want to leave here, really, does he? This is a great place with great things going on. Why would he want to leave what's happening?
He never said that he wants to leave. I think the club doesn't want him to leave. There are moments where you have to take decisions, and right now I think the club and him, they are focusing in a bigger picture that is, right now, we need to continue this momentum. I think they're talking about next year. Of course, it's important for the supporters, for the club, for him as well. But I think that they are trying to give it like normality. I think that they want him to feel okay, to enjoy, and he's doing every weekend. Week in and week out, he's scoring, he's delivering. So I think he's not all this conversation around him is not affecting him at all.
No, clearly not. His numbers are as good, if not better than ever, aren't they? Shall we have a look at the equaliser then, Robbie, which... Yeah. Did come just a couple of minutes after they were down to 10 men, Lille, and perhaps a very uncharacteristic kind of
I think
sloppiness.
Defensively, it was a little bit sloppy for Liverpool. I mean, again, we talk about the getting down the left-hand side, a little bit of a ball into the box. A lot of players stand still, drops of Jonathan David, who just side foots into the goal. But I think when we've seen, obviously, Lille with the 10 men, we were saying, Studge, weren't we, that we were like a little bit surprised how much time they were getting with the 10 men, and we didn't think that should be the case, should it?
No, definitely not. I mean, when you're playing against 10 men, of course you expect to dominate possession, and there were moments where Lille were comfortable in possession, and as the team with 11 players, you expect them to be pressing, winning the ball back, counter-pressing very fast, getting the ball back, and then continuing to dominate possession. But for Lille, that moment there for Jonathan David, of course, we talked about him a lot before the game and built him up, and he delivered a goal there.
18th goal this season. What did you make of him overall? We talked about how that he's got the Premier League in his sights. He's got 6 months left on his contract. Will anybody have looked at him tonight and maybe confirmed for them that he's the one for them?
I mean, you're not gauging him on tonight's performance, because I don't think any Lille player stood out. I don't think any Liverpool player really stood out, if we're being honest. You don't sign a player on the back of one performance anyway. I mean, Arne Slot said the same thing about Trent. Trent had a difficult game against Manchester United here.
I guess he doesn't get to pit his wits against a Premier League team every day, does he?
No, he doesn't. But I mean, it was tough for him. I mean, Liverpool, as much as they weren't unbelievable tonight, they still done a job, and they still done a job with the players that, the stronger players that Lille have got.
What I will say, Gabby, is I think for someone like a Jonathan David tonight, he was able to still score. Maybe he wasn't in the game much, he didn't touch the ball much, he was defending most of the game. But when you position yourself in the right place at the right time, that's a good sign for a team to know, okay, in terms of his positional sense, when a ball drops him into the box, that's something you can't teach. Fair play to him that he got the ball in the back of the
first touch on target. I think it was the first shot. He's been moving around, but it wasn't an easy game for them. He was well holding. I think that they didn't create many chances for the team. They dominated at some point, but no like a real threat. And if you have one and you put it into the net,
it was his only shot.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's well to say that he done a good job.
Okay, shall we hear his thoughts on the match then? He's with Gabriel Clark, Jonathan David.
Jonathan, the end of a long unbeaten run for Lille. How do you sum up tonight?
Yeah, very difficult game. Obviously, we came against the first of the Champions League group. So we knew it was always going to be a complicated game here, especially after going down to 10 men. But we managed to equalize, and after that, we suffered, but I think we showed some good things, even though we were playing 10 against 11.
Is the frustration, having got it back with your goal, you quickly lose that lead?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Obviously, we wanted to hold on as long as we could, but obviously very difficult. So today just wasn't our day.
What has been the strength of your team, and what do you hope you've shown in this competition as well that can take you a bit further in it?
I think just the togetherness. I think everyone is very solid and compact as a block, so we're very difficult to break down. And also, we want to play. We want to play. We don't just want to kick the ball. We want to play and play our game, and this is how we're going to get further.
You've beaten Real Madrid. You've beaten Atletico Madrid. What did you make of Liverpool?
A very good team. Obviously, I think they might be the best team in the world at the moment, so they showed why.
And for you personally to come here and to score, and we know, of course, about your situation in terms of maybe wanting to show your skill and ability on the biggest stage. What does tonight mean?
I think tonight is just one more goal. I think it was a very difficult game. I'm happy I managed to score, but ultimately we didn't get the 3 points tonight.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Harvey Elliott's joined us in the studio. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the goal.
Thank you very much. It was a tough game, I thought, but we got the job done, which is the most important part, and we can take the confidence from today and take it into the next couple of weeks coming up.
Your first Champions League goal at Anfield. Special moment.
It is, yeah. It feels like I've been around for a long time. It's the first I've heard of that, and I wasn't sure whether it was my goal or not. So, for you to clarify that is amazing.
It did take a bit of a deflection.
Yeah,
that's yours, mate.
That's yours, man. We ain't even talk. Don't even try it. It's Harvey Elliott's goal, this one.
To be honest, I don't even know why I done it. I just thought, let me
that was the question I was going to ask you then. So obviously ball comes to you there, normally a touch and you're trying to find someone else, but you have the confidence to have the shot with your left foot from 25 yards.
I think, in the past I made a mistake of taking a touch and...
Special, aren't they? And as a boyhood fan, this is the stuff of dreams, isn't it? Scoring.
It's hard to put into words. All my life I've dreamt of playing Champions League football. Not only for my boyhood club, but to play here at Anfield in front of our fans, and especially score as well. you know, it's a pinch me moment. You know, the family's in the stands as well, watching down. But you know, it's an amazing feeling. But it's done now. I just need to focus on the next couple of games, go into training tomorrow, and you know, make sure I'm putting in the work again.
They made life hard for you tonight, though, didn't they? And you can see why they're a team that have been unbeaten for such a long run.
Absolutely. You know, they're amazing, in my opinion. They had a clear game plan, and you know, the confidence within the team, the way they played out. You know, they were really, really good, and they made it tough for us at, you know, some points in the game. You know, especially scoring a goal after going down to 10 men. But I think it was just about our reaction. You know, how we dealt with the situation to kind of lift ourselves up again, and you know, keep pushing on. And you know, luckily in the end we done that.
Harvey, you talked about in your interview, I saw you say that Liverpool, the team now, it's a family. Can you explain the feeling, you know, in the dressing room, within the camp, and also within your heart?
It's hard to describe, to be honest. Like, you know, we're literally just a family. You know, I think we enjoy spending more time with one another than we do our families. You know, we're happy to be around one another. You know, we're always meeting up with each other outside of training, keeping in touch, you know, on days off. And, you know, the group chat's always pinging off with messages and stuff like that. But, you know, to be able to play in this team with, you know, players, and not only amazing players, but amazing human beings, you know, with great coaching staff and a great manager behind us. You know, I feel like we're in the best possible place to achieve big things this season.
Can I ask you, obviously, you're talking about the great manager, and so after the game, I know obviously players go out and do the press, but you just go in there, did the manager say anything to you about the game and the result and the performance?
Yeah, we have like a little debrief. You know, he kind of just waits for everyone to settle down, you know, especially after winning. Everyone's, you know, the emotions are high. People are, you know, messing around and things like that, and you know, we have a little debrief, maybe 2 to 5 minutes long, just of, you know, a few things that we've done well, a few things that we can, you know, improve on. But you know, the main debrief is tomorrow, so we have meetings, you know, as I said, of what went well, what we could do better, and you know, just don't make the mistakes again.
Harry, and normally you don't do many changes. Normally the teams don't do many changes at half time. What was the instruction? The manager tell you, listen, we need to address this or that? It was control. Were you more aggressive?
To be honest, I think it was just, you know, go out and play, go out and enjoy the game, and you know, kind of do it for ourselves, really. You know,
have the impact you had at Brentford at the weekend. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Potentially. I don't know. He didn't say that to me, but I think that was just in my head as well. You know, I wanted to go on and affect the game, and you know, just not only that, but enjoy it. You know, Champions League football. As I said, I've dreamt as a kid, you know, playing on this stage, and to be able to, you know, go out and play here. I just wanted to enjoy the moment, take it all in my stride, and you know, most importantly, help the team out.
And I've been in a similar position, I'm sure we all have, where you're a younger player and you're coming off the bench and you know, need to make an impact. Do you analyse the game and see, okay, this area of the pitch, I'm going to go and receive the ball there and try, and this fullback or this centre-half or midfielder, I'm going to get behind them? Do you analyse the players that you're going up against when you're coming on?
Yeah, personally I do. I think it's the only positive of, you know, not really starting, because you can sit back, you can watch the game, you know, and you can analyse the other team, and see where the spaces are, see what positions I want to take up, and you know, to kind of have them few steps ahead of when I get the ball, what I'm going to do with it. You know, I think it's good learning as well. I've been in this situation many times where, you know, I've happened to come off the bench and you know, come in and play, and I think it's easy just to switch off, especially when it's freezing cold as well, and forget about the moment. But I think, you know, if you're analysing the game, if you're looking around, and you know, just knowing for yourself when you go on, when you step on the pitch, knowing what you're going to do, and you know, it always helps me out.
Harvey, you're trending on social media, your celebration. There's been quite a lot of comments about it. So can we have a little look and you explain?
I think I said it in an interview the other day. You know, this is my team. This is my club. I'm a massive fan, you know, and we're in a great position so far this season. And you know, if
you're shutting them up basically there.
Yeah. I think without saying anything on social media, to be honest, I didn't really see all the stuff. You know, it's just a few things that my friends have said to me, and you know, calling me up left, right, and centre, saying, "Oh, you're going here," and
it's the monster speculation, isn't it?
It is. You know, it's always going to happen in January, and you know, especially after being out for a long time, and not really playing as much as I want to. But you know, that's football.
Has the manager give you any indication of? I know obviously Liverpool are brilliant, the players are brilliant, and you're obviously coming into a squad, into a side. You have been injured, but there becomes a point where, and I'm not after any sensational stories here, there becomes a point when you want to play. Have you knocked on a manager's door and said, well, listen, I need to get a chance here?
You know, I've had conversations with the gaffer, you know, but at the same time, I need to understand the situation. The team is flying. You know, we're first in the Premier League, first in the Champions League, so I think for me to be going in saying I need to play, you know, I need to be starting, I think it would be silly of myself, really, because, you know, you know what the answer is going to be. I think it's just about making sure I'm staying patient, you know, and when I'm getting opportunities, however long it is, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 45 minutes like today, you know, just enjoy the moment, especially being injured for, I think, 3 months at the start of the season. You know, you're itching just to get a few minutes here and there. So now the opportunities are coming around, I just want to go out and enjoy my football, play my football, and you know, when a chance comes, yeah, I need to show the gaffer that, you know, if I am needed, then, you know, I'm ready.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us, and I'm sure you've given the manager a lot to think about, especially these last 2 performances off the bench. Harvey, thank you. Always feel a bit guilty, Robbie, when you keep them in the studio when they're.
I mean, it's some studio, isn't it? It's studio, isn't it?
I call it the studio, but obviously
they'll have a track around it next week, won't it?
Will you let it go? He has come off the bench though in 2 consecutive games and made a difference. And he's talked about, and you asked the question, you're knocking on the door. That's how you knock on the door, isn't it, with performances?
Yeah, and you know what, friends, stop ringing his phone. Okay, just let him be, let him work his way back. He's, like he said, you know, he's been out for 3 months, and you're just desperate to get some minutes. You're desperate to feel your way back in. And I really loved how he answered, so much maturity.
I was going to tell you,
answers, man.
How mature it looks, the way he answered, he's calm, composed. It's not easy. He's so young. He's in a situation that is not easy to face and go in, and you know that you need to deliver something because everyone is expecting you. If you know, you're going to have more opportunity. And it's fantastic how he addressed. He understands that he needs to wait, to be patient, continue working, and be ready. It's fantastic.
Will you not learn more staying here, coming off the bench for a while, you know, whether that's 6 months or, you know, however long it is, than going somewhere else in a slightly different scenario where, you know, you're not top of the Champions League group stage, you're not top of the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny scenario for a lot of players if you're not playing. I mean, look, we all players, we all want to play all the time, and we all have a little bit of an ego where we want to stand out in games. But I love the fact that his answer there was so refreshing, and it was like, it was real, wasn't it? You know, a lot of players talk, and you know, they all say things that they probably don't mean, and they probably regret afterwards. But that was refreshing, and I loved his answer because it just tells you, look, this is a lad who loves the club. You know, he's just scored a winning goal at Champions League night at Anfield.
Can we just clarify that they haven't won the league phase just yet, by the way? They of course are in box office position to do that, but it will be sorted out on the final match day, which is next Wednesday, because that 3 points separates them and Barcelona. They are, of course, though, through to the round of 16, so they have definitely avoided 2 more unnecessary matches for them. No playoff for them, and here he is on a slot, smiling on a slot, as he does so often this season. Hey, congratulations. You are definitely through to the last 16. You're in the top spots. Obviously, it all goes down to next week, but you don't need those points. You don't need to finish top, but looking good.
Yeah, definitely. We're happy that we are top 8. That's the only thing that tells me something, because this league table doesn't tell you anything. So normally in tennis, if you're number 1, you know if you play against the number 24, he's probably not as good as the number 16. But here, because we play different teams, maybe the number 24 is better than the number 16, but the number 16 had an easier draw. So ending up 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody, we also want to be on top of the league, but I'm not so sure. We have to wait and see if it's an advantage, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and tonight, though, what you know is that this was job done. Maybe it wasn't the vintage performance from your team this season, or the best performance, but a performance that got you through.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
As a manager, I'm a bit more impressed than I think the crowd was, or the people that watch the television, because they probably feel like, oh, Lille, it's only Lille. But I knew, and probably you guys as well, that there were 21 games unbeaten, beat Real Madrid, beat Atletico Madrid. And without any disrespect, they don't do this with the best players in the world. So that tells you that they are very well organized and difficult to play through. And it's a hard-working team. So it's not so easy. So I was happy with the patience we had, not forcing difficult passes, but just keeping the ball, having complete dominance. The only thing I wasn't happy about is that for a few weeks now, one chance conceded, one goal conceded.
Just your second goal conceded, though, in this Champions League phase.
Yeah.
It's a pretty impressive defensive record that you've had there. And again, tonight, a couple of goals. And Harvey Elliott was in the studio just now, his second Champions League goal, saying that, you know, he understands at the moment that he has to have a bit of patience. Robbie asked him the question, has he been knocking on your door because he wants more starts? You've got to balance all these talents.
Yeah. The good thing and the privilege of managing Liverpool is that you have more than 11 good players. That's also the reason why we can compete in the Champions League, in the League Cup, FA Cup, and the Premier League, because you know, again, better than me how tough this competition is, Champions League and Premier League. So you need more than 11 good players, and it's up to them to be ready if they get the chance. And I think Harvey showed today with maybe a bit of lucky goal, but his performance was good. And that's also what you expect if you bring a player like him in, because he's a quality player, like many other midfielders we have.
You've been, this week, Thomas Frank has said you're the best team in the world at the moment. We asked this question pre-match. I think Lewis thinks that Liverpool are the best team in the world at the moment. Are you starting to believe you might be?
No. I think we have a lot of quality, and players work really hard. And if Thomas Frank says something like this, it definitely means something to me, because he's for a long time a manager in the Premier League. He doesn't have the same resources as many other teams in this league have, and he's still able to do really, really well, and make it very hard for the top 6 clubs if we play against them. That shows you how good of a manager he is, and if he gives them a compliment, it's always nice. But like I said, if you just judge us on the performances, we do really well, but I can come up with 5-6 other teams in Europe that I'm really impressed with as well. So, but we're definitely one of them. Let that be clear.
Exactly. It's not the only manager. Bruno just mentioned the manager of Lille also, that you were the best team. In Spain, they are all talking that you are the team to beat. Could that be dangerous for the team going ahead, thinking about it, the team and feelings, emotions and mentality?
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because every time we win, it's by small margins. So I think we only had 2 or 3 wins, West Ham away, Tottenham away, where we had big margins. So they understand how hard we have to work for a win. And again, today, you see, if we are one moment, don't sprint back with the cutback cross, we concede. And these margins, they understand. But I think if you would speak to the manager of, I know who is facing Bayern Munich tomorrow, but Bayern Munich is a really good team as well, and Barcelona beating 5-4 against Benfica. So there are many very good teams in this competition, and so there's still a lot to prove for us. But we're happy after last season, when we're not in the Champions League, that we are there now and doing really well.
Anna, can I ask you a question? I think obviously we've seen against Notts Forest, we've seen against Brentford, where you maybe throw caution to the wind and you are probably more offensive in terms of bringing more quality players into the attack and third. And tonight was a little bit evidence. Do you take more of a risk in terms of your management style, in terms of wanting to win that game?
More than others, or more than what I normally do?
Obviously with Notts Forest, you obviously threw caution to the wind. Against Brentford, you obviously put a lot more attacking players on. And I've seen tonight where obviously the last maybe 10-15 minutes where you maybe risk a little bit more.
I could have risked a bit more. Is that what you mean? Or
no, I think you do.
Oh, we also did it today. Okay, in general, if we need a goal, I'm not afraid to bring as many players in that can score a goal, because we are organized, well organized enough to take this risk, and all our players that come in work really hard, and that's the biggest reason why we don't concede, apart of course from a good goalkeeper and 2 great centre backs and other defensive really strong players. But even if I bring attackers in, they also work really hard. I think the 1-0 we scored was a great example of work rate of the players that contributed to a goal.
Anna, you know, we talked about many managers and players saying you're the best team in the world. I get a sense that you feel that the team can improve a lot what they are now. Can you? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, yes, I think we can improve, but probably when Pep's team won all 4 trophies, when you asked him back then, he would probably say, yeah, but we can still improve. So you will never reach perfection as a football team, because every second of the game you have to make a decision. And it's impossible for a player or for a team to make every second for 90 minutes the best possible decision. But that is where we are trying. That's what we're trying for every day, to go from 6 out of 10 to 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10. But probably we're not going to reach 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100. But that is the aim, what we always have, and it's not something specific what we can do better.
Is there one match that sticks out, perhaps, since the time that you've been here, that you feel you've hit closest to how you want to see
West Ham, I think, was a great performance. But I think us standing here, we also know that the competition you face or the team you face also tells you something about the quality of your own display. And when we played West Ham, they weren't at their best, so now they've done already better. So yeah, if I then have to look, if I look at the teams we've faced that are really strong, I think maybe City was the best game we've played so far.
Thank you so much for joining us here. It's January, by the way, as you know, so I just got to ask you, it's the question you're going to rebuff, but any signatures in the last 24 hours that you can tell us about?
You can always try. Maybe you should have asked Mo or Virgil at the desk instead, or Trent instead of
Yeah, you think they tell us, do you?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think this is the moment for this.
Any news coming?
Not that I know, but the news is coming that we play Ipswich on Saturday.
Excellent.
And that's big news.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, good luck there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you got to try, haven't you?
You don't get anywhere, do you, to ask? I mean, the question I asked him there in terms of because when I've seen Liverpool this year, and he has genuinely through caution to the wind, because there's times when Liverpool have been a little bit stuck in the doldrums, and then all of a sudden he'll throw someone on and try and win the game. But a lot of managers maybe try not to lose the game, but he looks as though he wants to win the games.
I really like him. I just think he's like something about him. When he talks to us, I'm not going to say he's got like a crazy aura, but I don't know. It's like he's not giving too much away.
Anything, right?
He's not selling a dream. He's just being real.
Well, he's not. I know he's not signing your studs, is he?
No. Come on, man. You know, it's over with, baby. You know. But you know what it is? I think he's not. He doesn't seem like he's satisfied at all. And you know, I think when things are going so well, the anticipation is sometimes you may see a manager. You know, he's not. He's like a little bit more boisterous but he seems like he's just level. All the time he's just level, and he's not getting too high, too low. He's just...
Do you think that honesty and candidness, which we seem to get from him in interviews, and he seems to be consistent, is also contributing to what Harvey talked about, this feeling of family and everybody feeling very close to each other, because there's a lot of trust there?
I think yes, and I also feel that one thing players respect the most is a manager that is straightforward, to the point, and honest with you. There's nothing worse than a manager that doesn't give it to you straight. There's nothing worse. You want a manager to be brutally honest, and it seems to me with him that he's brutally honest with his players. He talked about Trent saying, oh, I wanted more from him, and I've had conversations with him. He talked about Mo and his defensive play, which some managers wouldn't even say, hey, you know, players will do it. He just seems like he's very honest and straight to the point, and I respect that so much, because it is something that I'm certainly, for me in my career, there's not many managers I can say have been brutally honest, straight to the point, and I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Exactly the same thing. I think it's very, very important that you feel that you give everything when you are on the field. So the least that you can have is honesty. If you receive something from the manager, he has to have the truth. You're good, go. You're not that good, okay, you have to wait and be patient until the opportunity arrives. Yeah.
Good stuff. Guys, thank you so much. Really enjoyed your company this evening. And Liverpool, of course, continuing to dominate in this competition this season. They're not getting ahead of themselves, so you get a sense of that, don't you? It's one day, one match at a time, but pretty perfect so far from Liverpool. Thanks for joining us this evening. We'll see you next time.